What's going on, guys? Ronan here. I'm super excited for this part because even though the last part seemed like it was kind of slow, this part is going to start wrapping up some loose ends that have been lingering for a little while. So pay close attention because the gas is going to be thrown on the fire in this one. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. His lack of Pokemon is not my problem, Caitlin says. We have an agreement. We would battle right after he won. He has beaten you, Derek, so we battle now. This behavior even has her valet shocked. But Caitlin, it's only fair that Ash and his Pokemon have time to recover, Scott says. Scott, you may be the president of the battle frontier, but I am a brain of the frontier, am I not? You said it is up to us to just set the terms of the battles. This isn't the Pokemon League. We are here to challenge trainers, pushing them beyond their limits, aren't we? Well, I guess, but then these are my terms. If Ash does not accept, then his Sinnoh Frontier challenge ends here, as I will not accept any future battles from him. A stunned silence befalls the room. I'll do it, Ash says, shocking everyone. Good, Caitlin says. She descends the staircase to the battlefield. Shall we get started? As she takes her position on the side of the battlefield Derek once stood at, Ash gives Pikachu to Brock, asking him to treat it for its poison. Brock nods as the group retreats back to the sidelines, wondering how this battle will play out. Well, Caitlin, what's going to be the stipulation of our battle? Good question, Ash. You are already put through the ringer by Derek, but the disrespect you have shown me can't go unpunished. Now, can it? Man, she's out to get me, Ash thinks to himself. After letting Ash stew for a few seconds, Caitlin finally speaks. We will have a one-on-one battle, Ash, but the stipulation is one that will push you past your limits. The Pokemon you use must have a type disadvantage against mine. Wow, Caitlin is really stacking the deck against Ash, Scott says. She's really going all out here. Yeah, but I guess it comes down to the type of Pokemon she uses, Dawn says. That's simple, Derek says. Caitlin is a psychic type specialist. Then that means there's only one choice for Ash then. Back on the battlefield? Fine, Caitlin. Show me the Pokemon that you will use. Very well, Ash. Go, Gardevoir. The psychic type emerges in a meditative state, focusing in its mind even before the battle has begun. Oh well then, that only leaves one of the remaining 3 Pokemon that I have live with me. Ash thinks, well, it's the best possible chance I have anyway. Monferno, I choose you. The Inferno Simian emerges with a spout of flames, demonstrating its confidence. Ever since his battle with Dahlia, Monferno has had a new sense of self, Ash thinks. It's like a whole new Pokemon. The training that it and Sceptile went through was beneficial for both, helping each reach new levels of untapped power. Well, Ash, you are the challenger, so I will gift you with the first move, Caitlin declares. Gladly. Monferno, use Flame Wheel, Ash commands. The Fire Monkey envelops itself with a ball of flames, barreling down the field toward Gardevoir. Caitlin gives but one simple command. Teleport. In a flash, it vanishes, leaving Monferno without a target, forcing it to stop out of confusion. Both it and Ash look around. Then, a burst of psychic energy hits Monferno, sending it into the wall of the battlefield. Where did that? Then Gardevoir appears from out of nowhere. Ash, that's pathetic. You and your Monferno couldn't even see that attack. It was so obvious. Gritting his teeth, Monferno, are you okay? Fortunately, that wasn't a one-shot, so it is able to stand back up, jumping back onto the battlefield. She didn't even give it a command. Was that an actual attack, or was it just the force of Gardevoir reappearing from teleport? All questions that Ash will find out the answers to soon enough. Ash, you okay? Caitlin asks. Seems you've lost all your confidence you had. Ash just looks on, trying to see any way through this battle. But for once, he's blind. One move in, and Caitlin has him stumped. In the stands, Don and Brock are telling Ash not to get overwhelmed. He's got this, but Derek begs to differ. Though it may not look it, Caitlin is far stronger than he. Since the Sinnoh Battle Frontier was formed, there's only been one other Frontier champion that was able to challenge her, and it was only because his presence was so overwhelming to her. So you're saying that Ash doesn't have a chance? Dawn asks. I'm saying that if Ash wishes to earn her symbol, then he needs to bring something to the battle that Caitlin cannot predict. Something she's never seen before. Back on the field, Ash decides to finally call for a flamethrower to move the battle along, thinking he would see if attacking from a distance would help. This, however, is in vain as well, when Caitlin calls for another teleport. Then again, Gardevoir re-enters the field, sending Monferno into the ringside. No, not again, Ash thinks. We can't get a move in. Ash, your reactions are slow. Your Monferno is undertrained. If you wish to battle at the frontier level here in Sinnoh, then you will have to battle harder. Those brains in Kanto must be a joke, if you can beat them. What did you say, Ash rebuttals? You heard me. Your championship title was a mistake. You never should have won. This is getting to Ash. His mind is becoming clouded. First, she acts like she's better than everyone. Now she's mocking my accomplishments. Just as Ash starts to lose focus, Ash hears Monferno call to him. Again, it jumps back into battle. Monferno, Ash mutters to himself. It looks back at its trainer. The two share a moment like no one else is around, reflecting on the journey that they've had to this point, the obstacles they've overcome. Monferno's development has never stopped. Their opponents seem to share a bond that nothing can explain, but so does Ash and Monferno. Then, the two fade back to the matter at hand with a surge of flames on its tail. Then, Monferno itself erupts in flames. What's this? Caitlin questions. Ash smiles. I see your game, Caitlin. Your bond with your Gardevoir is a strong one, but it's not stronger than the one between Monferno and me. Ain't that right? The fire chimp beats its chest, nodding and crying as it is ready for battle. In the stands, amazing, Brock mutters. What is it? Derek asks. Monferno, it's activated Blaze, but the damage it's taken is minimal. The only other time it's done that is when the battle with Paul, Don says. It and Ash were in sync at that time more than any other time due to their will to win, and now it seems to have happened here. Ash, this could be the one thing you need to challenge Caitlin. Now let's see if it works, Derek thinks to himself as they watch the next part unfold. Back on the battlefield, Caitlin doesn't think anything has changed. She then gives her first actual order of the match. Gardevoir, use Psychic. Its eyes start to glow as a force of unseen energy surges towards Monferno. Caitlin tires of this battle. Monferno, use Dig! Before she could react, Monferno is gone, leaving Caitlin with a stumped look on her face. Gardevoir switches around trying to sense where Monferno is under the battlefield, but it's only detecting traces of the presence, while Caitlin, still processing the speed that Monferno has gained, isn't being the second set of eyes that she is supposed to be. Before either of them know it, Monferno emerges with a flame wheel that connects, cutting into Gardevoir like a buzzsaw. So Caitlin, do you still think we're not the challenge for you? She looks on to Ash and his Monferno. This boy, he's different. I don't know what it is, but this isn't the same trainer that battled Derek. Okay, Ash, you have my attention. While I will admit you are a curiosity, I stand firm in my statement from earlier. Well, no worries. By the end of this battle, that opinion will change, Ash says, ordering a mock punch from Inferno. Caitlin, now aware of the battle again, manages to get Gardevoir to put up a defense using Disable. This cancels the move altogether. As the attack fades out, Monferno edges closer to Gardevoir, completely unguarded. Then, without a command from its trainer, Gardevoir fires an electrical beam of energy, hitting Monferno, forcing it back, stunning it in the process. What was? But Ash's inner thoughts are interrupted. Ash, you look puzzled. Well, let me explain. That was Charge Beam, a nifty little attack that comes in clutch in a pinch. Oh, and it looks like Gardevoir is enjoying the benefits of it. Ash looks, and the Mon glows briefly in a greenish aura that seems to raise the confidence of Gardevoir, while Monferno seems to be subjected to the negative side of the effects with an electrical attack. Paralysis. Okay, but that doesn't explain why Gardevoir was able to follow up so quickly with a second attack. Wait, can it be? So you figured it out, did you, Ash? Yes. Me and Gardevoir are linked through its ability, so that means you don't need to command Gardevoir to attack? Correct. Through its ability trace, my Pokemon can sense the emotions of others, allowing it to react accordingly. Very rarely do I ever have to get involved in the actual battle. Well, your battle style is just like your attitude, Caitlin. Stuck up. Excuse me? The brain yells in pure disgust. You heard me. You're so entitled that you expect your Pokemon to do all the work for you? Well, that may be a unique way to battle. It's also a lazy way to battle. Caitlin, appalled by Ash's comments, tells him that the words of a commoner like him mean nothing. After all, she's a trainer not much older than he is, and is on the Elite 4 level status. She doesn't need to exert herself for something like hard work. The mental link with her and her Pokemon is all she needs. Look at you and Monferno. All the hard work you two have put in to be on the losing end of this battle. But a cry from Monferno rages throughout the castle, drawing the attention of everyone in attendance. Its flames are surging, but are far different than anything they have ever seen before. Ash smirks. You look down on us because we work hard towards becoming stronger, while you have been a strong trainer your whole life. But what you don't realize, Caitlin, is that in the world of Pokemon battles, hard work will always surpass natural talent. Isn't that right, Monferno? It nods as the flames begin to burn hotter, enveloping the area. In the stands, Derek is focused solely on the battle. This boy, he's different. Could he be the one? But before he can finish his thoughts, Monferno's willpower reaches everyone. Ash looks on. You see, Caitlin, this is what a true bond is. When your partner responds to your heart's desires. When your struggles have been the same, your thoughts and feelings are one. When that happens, anything is possible. As Monferno glows in an evolutionary light, you look down on us, stacked the odds against us, made it clear how little you think of our abilities or accomplishments. But we will show you what things we are capable of as Infernape emerges from the light with a blinding speed, hitting Gardevoir with a new move. What was that? I've never felt resolve like that before. Gardevoir is sent in the wall of the battlefield, visibly shaken from what just happened. Over with the spectators, Brock elaborates to dawn upon the evolution Infernape learned close combat. Meanwhile, Derek doesn't budge, transfixed on the battle. Ash could finally be the trainer that challenges Caitlin, Scott says. Both Dawn and Brock look on, questioning him about the statement. She's never really had someone to challenge her ideals or her truths before, as in the exact opposite of everything everything that Caitlyn stands for. Being born with natural talents, she's never really worked hard for anything, but she has made it very far as a trainer, hence being one of my frontier brains. It's always come easy to her. Then there's Ash, someone who's had to work hard for everything, never being given a free pass. His struggles challenge everything Caitlyn knows, so let's see how this plays out. Back on the field, the battle is back on with Gardevoir on the receiving end of Infernape's attacks. It's struggling to defend itself, let alone go on the offensive. Caitlyn is now confused about what to do because this is an actual battle, realizing that her timing with Gardevoir isn't as great as she thought it was. She's even stepped in giving actual commands, but Gardevoir's response is off, giving Ash and Infernape milliseconds opening to take advantage and landing attacks in succession. Then Caitlyn notices something. Infernape is slowing down. Ash can see it too. His newly evolved starter isn't used to the blaze burning at this level of intensity. That combined with the paralysis is eating through its stamina. Once Caitlyn realizes this, she slowly starts to calm down, allowing her to resync with Gardevoir, and its responses start to improve. Well, Ash, it appears all that talk was merely an embellishment on your part. Hard work, struggles, those are beneath me and my Pokemon. You have proven that here today. Darn, Ash thinks. Infernape is starting to tire. Its breathing is getting heavy, but Gardevoir isn't in any better condition from the looks of it. Ash orders a flamethrower, but his luck finally runs out as the paralysis catches Infernape. This gives Caitlyn the open she needed to land another charge beam, again raising the stats of Gardevoir. This is it, Caitlyn declares. You put up a good fight, but your path to victory fell short, as she calls for another psychic. Infernape, Ash calls. I know you can do this. We can't let her beat us, but it can't move. And the paralysis has it. No, Ash thinks. It can't end like this. Everything we've been through, all the training, it won't end here. Then something clicks. Infernape and Ash can feel each other. Their bond, it's truly become complete. Infernape's blades surges one more, pushing it beyond the boundaries even Ash thought. Use close combat, Ash calls. The blazing baboon fades out of sight of everyone for a brief moment, only reappearing when it collides with the wall of psychic energy that was heading for it. Infernape and Gardevoir clash, refusing to give any ground, but they are both at their limit. Infernape starts to falter. As the base of its attack, its legs begin to wobble, shaking from the strain of the battle. It's losing its pace. No, Infernape, Ash yells. Caitlyn looks on in confidence. This battle is over, but another surge of blaze envelops the field. It's Infernape's will. The pressure from its will overwhelms Gardevoir's mind, forcing it to drop the attack, allowing Infernape through to land a close combat with what little strength it has left. Both Pokemon stare at each other after battle subsides, both exhausted beyond anything they had ever felt. Infernape begins to teeter, losing its motor functions. Ash yells, Infernape, but before Infernape completely loses itself, Gardevoir falls in defeat, hitting the ground when Infernape does. Both Ash and Caitlyn look on in pure disbelief. Who's the winner, Ash asks. Well, it's clear I won, Caitlyn smugly claims, but Scott calls for a slow motion replay. So they go to the screen, frame by frame. Everyone can see the two drop to the ground, but as it comes to the end, it's clear who the winner is. By mere millisecond, Gardevoir hit the ground first. Ash erupts in a rant of cheers, celebrating his victory while Caitlyn looks stunned. How could I lose to him? She questions. Because, Caitlyn, you've never truly been challenged before. Things have always come easy to you. This voice, she thinks. Caitlyn looks around, and everyone is staring behind her. The frontier brain turns. She is greeted with an all too familiar face. Cynthia, the champion of the Sinnoh region, and one of Caitlyn's closest friends. Ash runs to Infernape, checking to see if it's okay. Cynthia, what are you doing here? Caitlyn asks. I came here to check up on some information in the library of the castle, but what I found is something much more interesting. A battle that is truly champion level. This battle was fixed. I should have won, Caitlyn says. No, Caitlyn, Scott rebuttals. You lost this battle. That much is clear. You have to acknowledge Ash as the winner and present him with his prize. But what makes him so special? Nothing, Cynthia says, surprising Caitlyn. He's just a regular Pokemon trainer who cares deeply for his companions, the same as you. The difference is he's the first one to show you what the method of hard work can achieve. You must accept this fact. There are other ways to become a powerful trainer. No two paths are the same. Caitlyn looks to Ash, staring intensely at him as he helps Infernape to its feet. Ash then sees her recall Gardevoir. Ash, you have shown me that there are other ways to power. Many different paths to follow. Though I may not agree with it, you have been declared the winner on this day. So I present you with this, the privilege symbol, as proof of your victory here at the battle castle over me. Ash and Infernape hug each other. Infernape, you did it. All our hard work paid off. It gives Ash a thumbs up, but flinches in pain as it's hard to move. Ash recalls it for some much needed rest. Well, Ash, you have proven your status as a true champion. Thus far, with 5 wins in the Sinnoh battle frontier, Scott says. Then, Dawn's Poketech lights up with the location of the next battle facility, which to everyone's surprise is in a place called the Battle Zone, which they will need a boat to reach. Luckily, there's one leaving from Veilstone City in a few days. Cynthia, it's good to see you, Ash says. Hey Ash, I I see Infernape and you have been training hard to get stronger. We have, he says. Right now, I'm challenging the battle frontier. With Caitlin's symbol, I now have 5. Wow, Ash. You are really putting in good work to get ready for the Pokemon League. Have you gotten your 8 badges? Well, no, Ash says. Wagner asked if I can wait for him to train so he could battle with me. My battle is less than a month, so I need to finish the battle frontier before then. Well, Ash, it seems you have a full schedule. I wish you the best of luck and can't wait to see what you've learned at the Victory Road tournament. Ash tells her he won't miss it for anything. Oh, and Dawn, you did great at the Grand Festival, Cynthia says. Second place in your first one is something I've rarely seen done. You have what it takes to become a top coordinator, so don't give up. Thanks for that, Dawn says. Coming from someone of your accomplishment, it means more than you will ever know. Ash and his friends then head out as the boat leaves from Veilstone City in less than a week, and if they want to stay on time, they can't stick around any longer. So, with that, they say their goodbyes and part ways. But Caitlin and Derek are curious to why Cynthia is here. She tells the two brains that she needs access to the library of the castle, as it houses some of the oldest books in all of Sinnoh. Of course, Derek says, please follow me. He leads both Caitlin and Cynthia down the long corridor to a pair of unnecessarily large doors. Once Derek opens them, Cynthia sees she's in the right place. The amount of information here rivals that of the library in Canalave City. She wastes no time in beginning her search for the answers she seeks. Derek leaves the two girls as he has other responsibilities in the castle to tend to. This leaves Caitlin to start asking questions. Why are you here? What are you looking for? And so on. Cynthia tells the brain that due to the recent events, thanks to Team Galactic, she fears that an imbalance in the world may have been created. You're not wrong, Caitlin says, triggering a reaction from the champion. Please do tell, she requests, knowing that Caitlin is a very sensitive psychic. Well, I can't say for sure, but with the awakening of the time, space, and distortion trio, I feel like something is coming. A rage that transcends the 3 aforementioned forces. Caitlin says she doesn't know why, but when it arrives, Sinnoh, no, all of the world will tremble in fear. Well then, I need to find the answers I seek, opening a book to begin reading. Following up with Ash and his friends, they have arrived in Veilstone City. They have about a day until the boat departs for the battle zone. In order to kill time, Brock suggests that they head to Reggie's house to say hi. Ash is on board with this, as he's been wanting to challenge Reggie to a rematch since their last battle. Upon arriving, they can see Reggie outside attending to a lot of the Pokemon, most of them being Paul's Pokemon, the ones that Ash faced at the Lake Acuity battle. Reggie sees the trainers coming up, rushing to greet them. Ash, Brock, Dawn, how have you been? He asks. We're fine, Reggie. It's good to see you too as well, Dawn says. What brings you to Veilstone? Reggie asks. Well, I'm challenging the Sinnoh Battle Frontier, Ash responds. Is that so? Well, I don't know much about them, but I've heard they are tough. Have you won any of the required symbols? Reggie asks. Ash flashes the symbol case with the 5. Just need 2 more, he says. Wow, Ash, looking to become a 2-time champion, are we? Yes, that's why we're here, actually. Our next stop is in the battle zone and the battle tower. I see. Well, you guys are welcome to stay the night here until the boat leaves. Thanks, Dawn says, at the thought of a warm bed and a hot shower. Well, actually, Reggie, Ash interjects, I was wondering if me and you could have another battle. A full battle, like the one me and Paul had. Really? Reggie asks. Well, I never expected this. Looking into Ash's eyes, he can see that this isn't the same boy that battled at Lake Acuity. He's changed. He's grown. Reggie can't explain it, but he can't bring himself to say no. Okay, Ash, you want a 6-on-6? Then you got it. Pulling out a Pokeball. With Pikachu on his shoulder, Ash readies his own Pokeball. Let's do this. But there's a slight problem that Ash is still overlooking. He only has an active team of 5 due to Spiritomb, but he knows that he needs to get through to it, and the best way is to battle. Reggie invites the group out to the field behind the house, where more notably the Pokemon have gathered as well, majority being the ones that battled Ash at Lake Acuity. Alright, Ash, a full battle is what you want? Reggie questions. Yes, Ash says. You being Paul's brother makes you the perfect person to battle, Ash thinks to himself. Well, Ash, I won't be going easy on you, as Reggie sends in his first Mon, B-Barrel. Oh, an old favorite, Ash says. Well, I guess I'll have my work cut out for me, sending in Bastiodon as his first Pokemon. Well, Ash, definitely starting out strong. Well, let's see if your defense can handle this, ordering a Super Fang. Ash smiles, ordering an Ancient Power. Bastiodon glows as the beaver gets in closer, but the boulders create a barrier preventing the attack. Ash then retaliates with a Flash Cannon that is delivered with a speed that Reggie wasn't expecting. He orders a takedown to counter, but B-Barrel isn't quick enough as Bastiodon closes the gap, connecting with the move. Once the attack subsides, B-Barrel is notably singed and wobbled from the attack. Looks like it felt that one, Ash comments. Wanting to shift the momentum in his favor, Reggie orders an Ice Beam, knowing full well that Ancient Power could come back to bite him again. But Ash, wanting to match Reggie's power, orders his own Ice Beam. The moves connect, with neither side giving any ground, but it becomes clear that B-Barrel is the weaker of the two due to the damage it had taken. Reggie, knowing that he only has one probable move left, orders B-Barrel to break the move and dodge. It does so, rushing to the side, then launches a Secret Power that connects with Bastiodon. At first glance, it appears to have no effect, but then Bastiodon just collapses, confusing Ash. Bastiodon, are you okay? Ash says, running over it, worried that something as serious has actually happened. Don't worry, Ash, Reggie yells. It was just the move Secret Power. It has a potential side effect, sleepiness. Upon further inspection from Ash, it turns out that Reggie was right. Bastiodon is out cold, snoozing away. Well, that's embarrassing, Ash says. And due to Bastiodon being unable to battle, this gives Ash the first loss. Ash recalls his mon, telling Reggie that it was smart, but a risk. Yeah, I know, but worth it, as it gave me the win. Now Ash has to come back strong, as Reggie's in the driver's seat of this battle. Reggie recalls B-Barrel for later, telling Ash that he needs to be a bit more clever if he hopes to win this battle. Ash tells Reggie not to worry. This battle is just getting started. Thinking about the Pokemon that he does know that Reggie has, he orders Pikachu into battle, knowing it has the level to compete with Reggie's Pokemon. Pikachu, eh? Well, I guess I'll use one of my stronger Pokemon. Drapion, go! The Scorpionmon emerges from its ball with a battle cry that can be felt throughout the surrounding area. Ash, this is one of my strongest Pokemon. It single-handedly earned 3 of the battle symbols I won in the Battle Frontier. Well, Pikachu is the one who beat Brandon, so I think we'll have an exciting match on our hands. Looks like we will, as Reggie orders the first move, Swords Dance, to raise the attack of this mon. Ash, wanting to take advantage of this free hit, orders Pikachu to use Iron Tail. The mouse rushes in with its free opening, connecting with one of the legs of Drapion. It cries in pain as it needs its legs to support its massive frame. Smart, Ash. Drapion needs its legs to use its power. So, you trying to take him out? Well, let's see if you can do that again, Reggie says. With pleasure, Ash replies, ordering another Iron Tail. But Reggie won't give Ash another free opening, and again, ordering Drapion to use Dig. This forces Pikachu to stop mid-assault. Ash orders it to feel out where Drapion is. Pikachu tries to focus, but is met with a Surface Drapion that connects with the completed move, sending Pikachu in the air. As Pikachu comes back with its fall, Reggie orders Drapion to ready for interception. Ash decides now that he needs to throw a Haymaker, ordering Pikachu to use Volt Tackle in midair. As Pikachu charges its attack, Reggie orders Drapion to charge an Ice Fang. However, Ash isn't new to the party, ordering Pikachu to tuck and roll with the Volt Tackle still charging. This allows Pikachu to connect with an Iron Tail that has the energy of a Volt Tackle that pushes through the Ice Fang to connect. Both Pokemon separate to gain some much needed space. Wow, Ash, your combos in battle really have improved, Reggie says, but that was a big move for Pikachu to use, as the electric mouse is winded. Its strength is nearly sapped. Reggie's right. Pikachu won't last much longer, Ash thinks. Wanting to keep its distance, Ash orders a Thunderbolt, but Reggie simply orders another Dig to dodge. Ash tells Pikachu that this is their chance and to use Iron Tail on the ground. It does, forcing Drapion to surface where it is met with an Iron Tail on the same leg as the first, causing it to collapse. We're down, but not out, Reggie thinks, as he orders Drapion to steady itself with one of its arms. This works, but Drapion's mobility is limited. This, however, is what Ash was aiming for, ordering Pikachu to use Iron Tail on the other legs, then to speed away with Quick Attack. This works for a little while, until the fatigue starts to set in on Pikachu and it's unable to escape one of the attempts to be grabbed by Drapion. With Pikachu now securely in its tail, Reggie orders Drapion to use another Ice Fang. With no other options, Ash orders Pikachu to use a Thunderbolt in hopes of dropping the mammoth-sized scorpion. Electricity lights up the area. Once the attack subsides, Drapion is unresponsive to Reggie's calls, dropping Pikachu as it falls in defeat. Pikachu is barely able to stand, but is declared the winner, giving Ash his first win of the battle. Well, Ash, Pikachu is quite powerful, Reggie says. I could see why Paul could have had trouble with it in the past, but this next Pokemon will keep things in my favor, as Reggie sends in his Swalot. Ash tells Pikachu to come back for now. He knows it couldn't win unless it has some time to rest. Swalot, eh, Reggie? Going very defensive, are we? Well, I got something for that, as Ash takes a huge risk, sending in Spiritomb. Reggie takes a second looking at this choice. Ash, is this the same one you tried to battle Paul with? Yeah, he says. It used to have no problem battling for me, but now it won't even respond to my commands. Every time I let it out of its ball, it just stays in the keystone, never responding to my calls. Well, Ash, if it won't battle, then I'm afraid I'll have to disqualify it. So, you better get it to respond. Realizing that Reggie isn't joking, Ash then begs and pleads for Spiritomb to battle, but nothing. After well over a minute of this, Brock declares Spiritomb unable to battle, so Ash goes to recall it. Wait, Ash, Reggie says. Instead of recalling it, why don't you leave it out for a while? Maybe we'll get interested in what's happening. Ash does so, setting it next to him on the battlefield. Now Ash has to choose his next Pokemon, and he's running out of options, but he decides he needs power more than anything, sending in his Abomasnow. Risky, Ash. A grass type against poison? Yeah, but I'm never really worried about typing Reggie, as Ash orders a Blizzard from his Frostymon. Reggie orders a Stockpile. This does minimize the damage, but Blizzard is still a powerful attack, and Swalot is feeling it. Ash, wanting to keep the pressure, orders a Wood Hammer as a follow-up. Reggie, wanting to keep Abomasnow at a distance, orders a Sludge Bomb. However, Ash was expecting something like that, ordering a Rock Climb that throws off the aim of Swalot. This allows the grass type to connect with the Wood Hammer, as Swalot is now off balance, but Abomasnow does take recoil as a result. Ash is now at a crossroads. Does he keep up the assault or play more defensively? While he decides, Reggie orders another Stockpile, further raising the defense of his Pokemon. Ash ultimately decides to keep up the pressure with another Wood Hammer. This is met with another Stockpile, making the move essentially less impactful than before. It's not helping that the recoil is starting to add up. Abomasnow is breathing heavily, and Ash knows that he needs to either end it or Abomasnow will fall. In one last-ditch effort, Ash orders another Rock Climb. It is here that Reggie decides to cash in his stockpiles with a Swallow to recover as much of the health that was lost as possible, but Abomasnow connects as it activates the move. Reggie wants to capitalize on the closeness of the two by ordering another Sludge Bomb, but Ash orders countering a Grass Knot that binds Swalot in an awkward position where its mouth is pointing into itself. Then Ash calls for another Wood Hammer. Abomasnow drops it with as much force as possible, fastball, holding nothing back. In the end, Ash is declared the winner, as Swalot is unable to battle. Reggie recalls his mom looking at Ash. Man, he's really grown in a short time that he's been away. I'll have to come harder, he thinks, as he sends in his next Pokemon, Staraptor. Ash knows that Abomasnow can't handle another battle, especially at a type disadvantage. So, he recalls it for now, sending in his own bird of prey. The two take to the skies, exchanging steel wings at the commands of their trainers. The last battle, it was clear that Reggie's Mon held the advantage, but things appear to be even now. Ash realizes that there's only one way he'll be able to take the advantage in this battle. He needs to be more aggressive. Ordering a Brave Bird, Ash's Staraptor starts to glow with fire, rushing in towards Reggie's, but it simply counters with its own Brave Bird. The two moves collide in midair, unguarded. It is here we start to see the minute difference between the two, with Reggie's Emo Bird possessing slightly more endurance with its move, as it is able to push back Ash's Staraptor. This forces Ash's bird into a tailspin, heading for the ground, but at the command of Ash, it quickly recovers, pulling up with plenty of time to spare. Well, that was a bust, Ash thinks. Staraptor isn't showing any signs of fatigue, however, squawking in its readiness for battle. Well, this bird is tougher than I thought, Reggie thinks, ordering an aerial ace. Ash counters with a steel wing. The two collide once more, but this time, Ash seems to be on the winning end. So, you caught a boost from the steel wing, did you? Reggie remarks. It looks like it, Ash says. We won't allow you to take us down that easily. Ordering another steel wing, the move lands, forcing Reggie's Staraptor into a tailspin of its own. Reggie calls for it to pull up, but the bird appears to be stunned, and it crashes roughly. Yes, Ash thinks, he's won, but Reggie's Mon proceeds to stand up, and he calls for a move that Ash wasn't expecting. Roost. Not again, Ash thinks. We just got over this at the battle castle. Reggie's Mon begins to glow with the healing aura. Great, Ash says. All that effort gone. Reggie's Staraptor takes back to the sky. Well, Ash, let's try this again, as he orders another Brave Bird. Ash follows suit, but this time with the defense boost. This makes the exchange more even. Well, this may be harder than I thought, Reggie says, ordering a wing attack. Ash counters with another steel wing. Ash's Mon is able to push Reggie's back as it gains another defense boost, but Ash's Staraptor is starting to slow from exhaustion, struggling to stay airborne at the level of Reggie's. Well, it looks like this is over, Ash. Staraptor, use Brave Bird, Reggie commands. Ash counters one last time with an aerial ace instead, surprising Reggie, but Ash doesn't want the risk of recoil. Though the power of the two moves aren't equal, the defense buff is enough to offset this, allowing Ash's to take the lead, as his Mon pushes back his opponent. Then Ash follows up with a high-risk move, Close Combat. This is enough for Staraptor to force Reggie's to the ground, closing this battle with the victory for Ash. Well, that was close, but Ash managed to take it. Well, I guess I need to stop playing around, Reggie thinks, as he sends in his next Pokemon that Ash has yet to face, Kangaskhan. Ash orders another Steel Wing. Staraptor rushes in, hardening its wing. Reggie, not wanting it to get another defensive boost, orders his mom to use one of the 5Ds as Kangaskhan dives to the side, then countering with an aerial ace that flattens the bird into the ground, finishing this round of the battle. Ash recalls Staraptor saying nothing. He's only got one fresh Pokemon. The rest are battle worn. Ash needs to save Infernape as long as he can, ordering back in Pikachu. The mouse sparks as it heads in. Ash, not wanting to waste any time, orders a quick attack, but Reggie counters with the Protect, canceling the damage. Ash, undeterred, orders an Iron Tail, but Reggie has an answer for this as well. It's Shadow Claw. Darn, Ash thinks, but he's interrupted by Reggie. Hey Ash, you better think quick. Pikachu's getting tired. Ash plays off the quip from Reggie, but deep down he knows he's right. Well, go big or go home, Ash thinks. Pikachu, use Volt Tackle, he calls. The electric mouse charges up, focusing on a single point. Reggie, however, isn't worried, allowing Pikachu to get it closer and closer. Then, when it gets within striking range, Reggie calls for a defensive trump card, Protect. This stops Pikachu dead in his tracks, while Reggie gives another command of Shadow Claw. This connects unguarded, ending Pikachu's reign in this battle. Ash walks out to gather a starter. You did great, buddy. Now take a rest and leave it to us. Pikachu's loss triggers something that Reggie notices, but he'll keep silent about for now. Ash, we're pretty close with only 2 Pokemon each, even though you only had 5 usable Pokemon. Yeah, but don't worry, Reggie. We still got this, as he sends back in Abomasnow. Ash's snowman is winded, still feeling the battle from earlier. Ash orders a Blizzard to keep some distance, but is met with another Protect. Well, that was fun, Ash says, choosing to ignore his previous plan and going in with a Wood Hammer. Reggie decides to outlast his opponent by ordering another Protect, but his luck runs out, allowing Ash to finally damage with an attack. But the recoil forces Abomasnow to drop to 1E. This gives Kangaskhan the opening it needed to land an aerial ace at its trainer's command. Abomasnow flinches in pain, but refuses to fall, as Ash calls for one last Blizzard. This does connect as the snowman falls, using the last bit of its energy to complete the attack. But as it falls, the 2 trainers look to Kangaskhan, which appears to be frozen solid, making this battle a draw. With 1 Pokemon each, both trainers ready their final balls, sending them both simultaneously. Ash's Infernape takes the field, while Reggie's Pokemon is a Pokemon that Ash is all too familiar familiar with, and it roars as a loud thud can be heard. Torterra! Wait, is that Paul's Torterra, Ash asks? Reggie smiles. No, this is mine. It's my strongest Pokemon, my first Pokemon. It's clear as this Torterra appears to be much bigger in size compared to Paul's. Infernape dwarfs in comparison. Infernape, be on guard. We will need any opening we can get. It nods, taking a battle position. But Reggie and Torterra just stand there in what seems an unguarded position. Curious, Ash decides to make the first move, ordering a flamethrower. But as Infernape charges the attack, Reggie orders a sand tomb that begins to pull Infernape underground, forcing it to stop the attack. Ash takes a moment to get over the shock of the speed and efficiency of the attack, finally calling for a dig after he is brought back by Infernape's cry. The fire ape manages to get out of the prison that was being created for it, but not without taking damage. Ash, I'm not Paul. You can't treat me like him. Though we are brothers, that doesn't mean that our battle styles are the same. You can't battle my Torterra the same way you would his. Ash, gritting his teeth, wonders how he can get past this. Well, he says, I guess I have to do what we do best. Infernape, close combat. Infernape rushes in with a speed clearly greater than Torterra's, but Reggie doesn't even try to avoid the attack, but welcome it with the move that Ash didn't see coming. Curse! Torterra glows with a ghostly aura, raising its stats to new levels. Infernape connects, but the damage is cut in half along with Infernape's defensive stats. Torterra shakes off the attack, while Infernape puts some distance at the request of its trainer. We need to keep our distance, Ash thinks. That Torterra is very bulky, and it seems that it specializes in immobilizing its opponents. Ash then orders a flamethrower that is again met with a sand tomb, forcing Infernape to cut it before the attack connects. This gives Torterra the opening Reggie was hoping for, calling for a new move, Leech Seed. Ash calls for a flame wheel that burns up the seed. With this distraction, however, Reggie calls for another seed-based move in Seed Bomb. Infernape can't maintain the flame wheel with the seeds exploding around it, knocking the blazing chimp down. The damage Infernape has been taking is starting to stack up. Ash knows that Blaze is coming, which could be a good thing for them, or could it? Ash tells Reggie that this battle is just what he and his Pokemon needed. No matter the outcome, Ash knows that there will be a lesson for him to learn to help him in future battles. Reggie says if he can keep that line of thought, then no matter win or lose, you will always take something away that will make you a better trainer. As he commands another curse. Ash, wanting to get in some damage before the stat boost, tells Infernape to use Flame Wheel. It envelops itself in fire, shooting towards Torterra. The attack connects, having a side effect on both Pokemon. Torterra develops a burn from the Flame Wheel, while Infernape's stamina has hit the point to where it slowly descends into its Blaze boost. Ash knows that they don't have much time. While Infernape is now in Blaze, each attack it takes could be this last. So Ash orders a dig. Infernape tunnels into the ground, but Reggie is no one's fool, calling for another Sand Tomb. This forces Infernape to surface where Torterra is waiting with a Seed Bomb that connects. This causes Blaze to intensify a bit more, increasing the power and speed of Infernape. Trying again, Ash orders another Flame Wheel that Torterra just takes as the burn kicks in, but the Titan Turtle is still standing, firing back with another Seed Bomb. The move does not hit Infernape directly, but the shock waves from the explosions do connect, triggering Blaze a little bit more. Ash is totally oblivious to this, unlike Reggie, who seems to be pushing for it. Ash wanting to end this calls for a close comment, but Reggie has been holding something back for this, ordering a Seed Bomb on the ground around Torterra. This creates a literal minefield that Infernape must travel through. Ash tells Infernape to jump over to avoid the bombs, but the distance is great, and it falls just outside of the safe zone Torterra has created for itself, getting caught in multiple explosions, causing Ash to yell to his Pokemon. Once the dust settles, Infernape is still standing. Yes, Ash thinks, telling it to complete its attack. Infernape takes a step forward, but only to fall as it has fainted, ending the battle in Reggie's favor. Ash recalls Infernape, thanking it for a hard-fought battle. Reggie walks to his Torterra, telling it was a job well done. After all these years, they still got it. Ash, Don, and Brock join Reggie as Ash thanks him for the battle. They almost had him, but he could expect nothing less from the older brother of Paul. You know, Ash, you almost did win. The only thing I could say about that battle is that you need to be a little bit more conscious of Infernape's Blaze. Then you would have won. What do you mean? Ash questions. Well, it was small, but during the battle, Infernape's Blaze kept getting more intense, but the intenser it got, the faster its stamina increased. That's why I set Torterra's Seed Bomb the way I did. So you use Blaze against me? Yes. You need more training strengthening Infernape's endurance. If you guys can master that, then I don't think anyone would be able to stop you. Not even Paul. Really? Ash says excitedly. Well, it looks like we have more training to do. Reggie and the rest laugh as he invites them in for a meal before they have to get to bed. The next morning, as the group sets out, Reggie stops, telling Ash there's one more thing about their battle that he forgot to mention. Spiritom's Keystone. It seemed to react to Pikachu's loss yesterday. Really? Are you sure? Ash asks. Yes, but it was only for a second, Reggie says. That's odd, Ash says, but it makes sense, as it never really liked Pikachu to begin with. Well, it's not much, but at least it's something for you to go on, Ash. Thanks for the info, Reggie. I'll make sure to follow up with it, as they wave goodbye to their old friend. The group arrives at their destination at the Veilstone Pier, only to be met with bad news. The boat they were supposed to take was stolen the previous night by an unknown individual, so they will not be going to the battle zone. Ash, visibly upset, questions if he'll be able to complete the battle frontier in time for his gym battle with Wagner, but Brock interrupts Ash's sulking, telling them that if they travel 2 days north of Veilstone, there is a small port on the coast. It's close to a place called Machina Town, a town said to be dedicated to the Alpha Pokemon. With no other choice, our heroes set out in hopes of catching this other boat. Meanwhile, in a base located on an island off the coast of Sinnoh, we are met with some familiar faces, Cyrus and Sharon. They are working on modifications to the technology that they built based on the tech they had gotten from the ship of Zero. Master Cyrus, it's done. With this dimension splitter, you will be able to summon this Pokemon you claim to have seen in the void. Claimed? Cyrus snaps at Sharon. I know what I saw. There's a force out there stronger than even the deities, Palkia, Dialga, or Giratina. It has the power to create what I truly desire, and this time, nothing will get in my way. Then Cyrus' inner monologue is interrupted when Jupiter tells him that the task she was assigned is completed. According to their calculations, the Pokemon is most likely to emerge in a place called Machina Town, a place that just so happens to house the Temple of the Alpha Pokemon. Cyrus looks out the window. When will this occur, he asks. In 2 days' time, sir. Cyrus smiles as he readies for his final destiny. And that's going to wrap up this part of What If Ash won the Sinnoh League. What do you guys think about this part? How do you feel about Ash's battle with Caitlyn? How do you feel about Infernape and the circumstances that caused him to evolve? How do you guys feel about the battle with Richie? And of course, are you excited for the next part and the fact that Team Galactic is going to get back into the fold of things? Because I know I am. Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe. We're very close to the 7,000 sub mark, and I would like to hit that before the end of May. You guys have been truly amazing in following me on these journeys on this channel, and I never thought we would get to this point. But here we are. We just need that little extra push to get us there. And the more you guys share, the more you guys like, the more the YouTube algorithm is going to favor the videos and push them to the front page. So, with all that being said, don't forget to follow me on my other platforms, on Twitter, Patreon, and jump into the Discord to have conversations with a lot of like-minded people in there. And with that, we're going to end the video in the way that we've been doing so well with, thanking all the patrons. So, we have Silver Heart Soul, Robert, Vegito Gaming 78, Andrew McCartney, Holosiv, Julian Rodriguez, Ruben Watson, Assassin 139, Flyer 943, Jacob Perry, Tavern Landlord, Kevin Atran, Maker YAG, Luke Franciscos, Adrian Carr, and Dalen Silva. Thank you so much for the additional support. Every little bit you guys give is really helping me and to grow the channel and to continue bringing you the content that you guys love. Anyway, that's all I had for you, and I will see you in the next video.